Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is chair, C-H-A-I-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Groucho! What a bore. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,000 tonight for one of our couples.
We have a couple of young single people for you tonight.
This is Fire Dome Fenneman, in case you forget.
These young single people were chosen from our studio audience just before we went on the air. Miss Louise Callahan and Mr. Harold Goodman, come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Louise Callahan and Harold Goodman. Louise, say this. There's quite a lot of you, isn't there? How much of you is there, Louise?
165 pounds. 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall, and you weigh 165, huh? Where are you from?
I'm from Shamokin, Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, I'm smoking now, huh? Where are you from, Harold?
Indiana Harbor, Indiana.
How old are you, Harold?
27.
27,
yes.
Huh? Well, you're a fine-looking lad.
Thank you.
What sort of work do you do, my lad?
I'm a physician.
Oh, a doctor, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there any difference between a doctor and a physician? Except the fee, I mean.
Well, many professions apply the name doctor to their title, but a physician is...
That's a euphemism, isn't it?
A euphemism is
yes,
fine.
Yes, well, euphemism and me for using it. You know, I'm curious. What made you decide to become a doctor in the first place?
Well, that's a question that I've been asked many times, and it's a very difficult one to answer.
Was this after you operated they asked you that? Well, how do you answer that query?
The answer of necessity has to be very nebulous and vague, and I just can't give you a specific...
Well, we don't object to a nebulous answer.
You don't?
Oh, no.
Well, it offers a great...
You'd be surprised how nebulous we can get on this show.
I've seen you before, and
yes.
I'm sure that... the field, of course...
How would you like it if I practiced medicine, huh? I'm allegedly the comic on this show.
Medicine offers a great deal of variety and interest.
Well, show business offers a lot of variety, too.
I would like very
it's
much
on sale
to be in
every
show
week,
business.
huh?
I would like to be in
Well,
show business.
the way you're going now, it won't be a matter of a few minutes. You may be sitting here, and I may be rolling bandages. Wanting something better. Go on, now, what were you saying?
I think I'd finished.
Oh, you finished? Well, how'd you make out?
There you are.
Well, that was quite interesting, and I've learned a lot from that, Doc. Now, you say that this was a kind of a nebulous answer you could only give, a vague answer. I hate to bring up an unpleasant subject like this, but weren't you at all interested in the financial returns of being a doctor?
It's a long time before that comes around. You spend 4 years in college. That takes a great deal of money. 4 years in medical school also costs a good deal. This is followed by a year of internship at the rate of about 10 cents an hour. If you want to specialize, a residency for 3 or 4 years at 15 cents an hour. Then out in practice, it'll take a little while to get established.
15 cents an hour?
It's quite good these days.
Well, it costs you 60 cents to shoot pool for an hour. Why couldn't you skip all those preliminaries and just hang up a shingle when you get out of high school?
Well, that would be unethical, and besides, you'd get caught.
Well, suppose they nailed you a few times. You'd save 12 years anyway. Now, Louise, what sort of work have you been doing?
I used to be the human fish at the Mommy Biltmore in Florida.
You were a human fish?
Yes.
Did you have a worm in your mouth?
No, I'll tell you about it, Groucho.
Well, I wish you would.
What they did was put a harness on me, and there was a man with a pole and a line, and I would go out in the water and swim real hard and try to fight it, and people on the sides would make bets and to see if I would stay out in the water, or whether he pulled me in or not.
Well, after they caught you, did they hang you over the mantle? Or... Imagine coming home and explaining this to your wife. Say, I just caught this fish. Well, you make a splendid couple, and now the rest is up to you. I've done all I can. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000 question. But first, I want everybody to listen to this.
Friends, what do you want in a car?
An engine might be nice.
If you're looking for the highest standards of safety and performance, you should own a DeSoto.
How about if you're looking for little things, like wheels?
Well, Groucho, no matter what you're looking for, you'll do better with a DeSoto. You mentioned engines. DeSoto, you know, has the sensational 160 horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine. The engine specifically designed to give you top performance under all conditions. The DeSoto Fire Dome gives you surging power plus real economy, because the Fire Dome was built to run at peak efficiency on ordinary fuels, not expensive premium fuels. The mighty DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine means you'll always have power when you want it, power when you need it. And as for wheels, DeSoto offers you wonderful safety rim wheels, an extra safety factor. DeSoto's safety rim wheels have special protective ridges designed to hold the tire securely on the rim in case of a blowout. This helps you control the car and bring it to a safe stop. So you see, friends, for outstanding performance and wonderful safety, your next car should be a DeSoto. Tomorrow, drop in at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Take the 5-mile trial in the mighty DeSoto Fire Dome 8 or the famous DeSoto Powermaster 6. Prove to yourself that your next car should be a DeSoto. And don't forget, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. Fireman, Fire Dome Fenneman.
Yes, sir.
Would you mind explaining the rules to these young culprits, young couple?
Well, you bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later on in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. From our list of 20 categories, you selected songs written by famous personalities as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
1950.
1950. Billy Rose and several others combined their talents to write this song. Give me the title of it. Okay, Jerry.
Me and My Shadow.
Me and My Shadow is right.
You're off to a good start. You have $39.50.
The song has been made famous by the old master Ted Lewis.
39.
$39 you're going to bet? Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, you're going to bet $39. Rudy Valley had a hand in writing this song. Give me the title.
Good Night, Sweetheart.
Good Night, Sweetheart is right.
You now have $78.50.
How much you going to bet?
78.
Here's the third question. $78. Bing Crosby was one of the writers of this song. What's the name of it? Play it, Jerry. Ghost of a Chance with You is right.
You're now climbed to $156.50.
Now, how much of this are you going to bet this time? $156.50.
All of it.
You going to shoot the works? Here we go. It's your last chance to beat the other couples. In 1924, Al Jolson helped write this song. Let's see if you can identify it. California, here I come.
And you'll wind up with $313.
There, Louise, you're a fine couple. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Groucho, we invited some Red Cross workers to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Marjorie Stevens. Her partner is a husband who volunteered, Mr. George Heckenkamp. Folks, come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the sacred word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Marjorie Stevens, eh?
Yes.
And Mr. George Heckenkamp.
All right.
Say, that's a cute uniform, Marjorie, and you're a cute girl. Are you a CB?
No. This is a Red Cross uniform.
Oh, well, you don't look very cross. Do you do anything else aside from Red Cross work?
Yes, I help an orthodontist.
Oh. Well, he goes to his church, and everybody goes to theirs. George Heckenkamp, huh?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Quincy, Illinois.
Oh, I had the Quincy for a while. I played in Quincy. That was long before you were born, though, I think. Are you married, George?
Yes, I am, sir.
How'd you meet your wife?
Well, she was dancing with a fellow I didn't like one time, and I cut in on him and been dancing with her ever since.
You dance 24 hours a day? Was your wife pleased at this turn of events?
Well, I'm married to her. She
Answer my question, George. None of this nebula stuff. We've had enough nebulae tonight. What did you do in Quincy?
Well, I didn't do too much in Quincy. I moved to Pittsfield, Illinois.
What did you do in Pittsfield? Move to Peoria?
No, I had a flower shop there, a florist shop.
Oh, I see. And everything went to pot? How'd you make out there?
Well, I lost money.
Oh. That was pretty prophetic, wasn't it? What did you do when you came to California?
Well, I opened 2 flower shops out here.
Well, that was pretty smart, George. You got wiped out in 1 flower shop, you thought you'd do it with 2 shops. You figured you could go under much faster that way, is that it?
Right.
You're a pretty shrewd cookie, George. How'd you make out the second time?
I lost twice as much.
George, I hate to say this, but in the flower business, I'd say you're a blooming idiot. Now, if you're crazy about losing money, I happen to know a little oil deal up in Wyoming. Now, this is a very attractive deal. You could get wiped out overnight. What did you do to make money, George?
Well, I worked for an airline at night, and I worked for a bank during the day.
Well, that wasn't very bright, George. If you really wanted to make money, you should have worked at the airline during the day and the bank at night. Are you sure you got the right girl, George?
I think so.
What are you doing now, George?
Well, I'm a motorcycle officer for the State Highway Patrol.
George, I think you're one of the finest men I've ever met. And if there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to call on me. What do you do for the Red Cross, Marjorie?
I'm a driver. We take hostesses to the
Take the
hospital
hostess with the mostess on the board.
to entertain the boys who are in the hospitals and can't get out. And they play games and cards, and then we take doctors to the blood mobiles and nurses' aides. And men go to different sports around town, like your football games and boxing and all that sort of thing. And we just
Well, I'm
drive
no
them
sport.
over.
Would you come to me some night? Well, seriously, you guys are doing a wonderful job. Now, how much do you get paid for all this work? There's a lot of work, isn't there?
Nothing.
This is all volunteer?
Yes.
Well, you're doing an even greater job than I thought, Marjorie. It's just wonderful.
Thank you.
And if George wasn't married, I'd see what I could work up here between you two. George, let's get back to your job. For example, how did you happen to become a motorcycle cop? You were leading a fairly comparatively honest life up to now.
I'd been interested in police work a long time, and I took a civil service exam, and I passed it. And while I was...
How fast were you going?
Well, while I was waiting for my exam to be called, my appointment, I received 4 traffic tickets in 2 weeks, and so I decided if I couldn't beat them, I better join them.
George, there's one thing that bothers a lot of motorists. Why is it you motorcycle cops always hide behind a billboard?
Well, we don't hide behind billboards unless they build them while we're sitting there. It's against regulations. We've got to stay out in the open all the time.
You say you're always out in the open?
Yes, sir.
Well, this may surprise you, but I think it's a good thing you are, George. We need you fellas. It takes a lot of courage to control all the screwballs who hit it up on the highways. And I think you're doing a great job. And it's a very dangerous job. And I want to congratulate you. The main thing I said in fun. That goes to you, too. You're a couple of fine citizens. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to give you both a chance to make some money. But first, I just want to remind both of you to take a ride in the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. You'll be as crazy about it as I am. Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. Can't tell you how much you have to win, but Fire Dome George is going to remind our listeners.
The doctor and his partner won $313, and the secret word is chair.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected state landmarks, right?
Yes, sir.
Here's your first question. How much you going to go for?
$20.
Talk right up, kids.
We'll shoot the works, $20.
Shoot the works. All right. In what state do you find the famous Pikes Peak?
Colorado. Colorado.
Colorado is right.
You now have $40.
Remember going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $40 you going to bet this time?
Let's go $40.
Might as well.
$40.
$40. In what state do you find Bryce Canyon?
Utah.
Utah is right.
You now climb to $80.
Here's your third question. How much of the 80?
Let's shoot the works all the way.
In what state do you find the famed Everglades?
In Florida.
Florida is right.
You now have $160.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much you going to go for?
Let's shoot the works all the way.
Shoot the works. In what state do you find the Grand Coulee Dam?
Washington. I'd say Washington.
Washington is right. I'll give you a good question.
You wind up with $320.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We have
a real cute couple, wasn't it?
We have a young couple for you now, Groucho, who recently became parents. They volunteered from our studio audience. Mr. Gordon Walker and Mrs. Annie McWhinney Walker. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll win $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Ann and Gordon Walker. Let's see, Mr. and Mrs. Walker, huh?
That's right.
And your new parents? Uh-huh. Well, it's a good thing you're both Walkers. It'll come in handy around 2 in the morning, huh? How old are you, Gordon?
32.
32? I
That's
thought you were
right.
about 22.
Thank you.
Wow. And Mrs. Annie McWhinney Walker, huh?
Anne.
Ann. McWhinney, eh? Was your mother frightened by a horse? What kind of a name is McWhinney?
Scotch.
Annie? Eh?
Scotch.
Oh, Scotch, yeah. Well, what kind of Scotch are you? Domestic or imported?
Imported.
Were you born in Scotland?
No, I was born in the Isle of Man.
Oh. The Isle of Man?
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing there, you hussy?
That's just the name of the place. There are actually lots of women there.
Oh. Well, is that near Boys Town, the Isle of Man?
No, it's a tiny island between Ireland and England.
Oh. Now, Fenneman says you're new parents. How old is your child, Gordon?
We have 3 of them.
You have triplets? Well, congratulations. And how old are the little kids?
Douglas is 5, Linda is 4, and Keith is 12 weeks.
Really? That much time between them? Those triplets must have made medical history. How did you meet Gordon?
Oh, that's kind of a complicated story.
I don't doubt it. With 3 youngsters around, it's getting more complicated all the time. Couldn't you break it down into small installments? Go ahead. How'd you meet him?
Well, it started through Gordon's boss, who was interested in stamp collecting. And,
Gordon's boss was interested in stamp collecting?
Uh-huh.
And now you have 3 kids? I don't follow.
Well, I had a brother who was a prisoner of war. And
where was this?
he was in Libya. Gordon's boss was interested in getting a stamp from a prisoner of war. So he wrote to my brother, and he couldn't reply directly to America because it was neutral. So he wrote to Mr. Lund, that was Gordon's boss, and addressed the letter to me in Scotland. And
Now, let's get this straight now. Where was Gordon's boss?
In Martinez, California.
He was in California. You were in Quincy. Your brother was in Libya. And you were in Scotland. And they're all collecting stamps, and now they got 3 kids. Shows you what a wonderful world we're living in. Somebody told you that 30 years ago, you'd have said they were mad. How did Gordon get involved in all this?
Well, he read one of my letters. Mr. Lund's wife
sneak thief, eh?
Mr. Lund's wife and myself corresponded, and Gordon saw one of my letters and was interested, and he wrote to me.
When did you two finally meet each other?
We met after we decided to get married.
Wasn't that rather hazardous?
Well, it wasn't any riskier than marrying a girl that I'd known.
Well, that's logical, I guess. That sounds like the right words from the father of 3 children. Now, how long did this orgy of letter writing continue?
4 years.
And I'm surprised you didn't marry the postman. You said you saw more of him than you did of Gordon. Did your family, what did they have to say about this unusual courtship?
Oh, my mother was very excited about it. My dad went around to all his friends saying, "Look what Gordon got in the mail."
Some people have all the luck. All I ever get in the mail are blotters from the telephone company. What sort of work do you do, Gordon?
Well, I'm an analytical chemist for the Shell Oil Company.
Oh. Well, has he shelled out pretty regularly? Do you know much about his chemistry work, Ann?
No, it's all double Dutch to me.
It's what?
It's all double Dutch to me.
Double Dutch, huh?
I don't understand it, but when I can't get to sleep at night, he tells me about it, and I go right to sleep.
He probably originally married her because he wanted someone to understand him. Someone to be close by his side through thick and thin. She's only there through thick, I think. And there's something that's been bothering me. If you were born in the Isle of Man, how is it you have a Scotch burr?
We moved to Glasgow when I was 3.
Oh, you went to Glasgow. Mm-hmm. Did you belong to Glasgow?
No.
I know a song about Glasgow, you know. Will Fife used to sing it. Did you ever hear that song?
I belong to Glasgow.
Yeah. Could you sing it? Huh? Would you sing it with me?
All right.
Can you sing?
A little.
Hasn't stopped me. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
I belong
to Glasgow, good old Glasgow town.
But there's something the matter with Glasgow,
for it's going round and round. And I'm only a common old working chap, as anyone can see.
But when I have a couple of drinks on a Saturday, Glasgow belongs to me.
What about me? We both lost our heads in that song. You know, we may have more in common than Gordon and she had. Well, you're a nice young couple, and obviously the post office did an excellent job as Cupid. I wish the both of you a long and a happy life together. Now it's time to play You Bet Your Life. You got to run your $20 no more than the other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much to win. You have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The Red Cross worker and the police officer lead with $320.
Okay, here we go. Let's see how high I can bill you $20. You selected the animal kingdom. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
$19.99.5.
What do you call a male deer?
Buck.
Buck is right.
You have $39.99.5.
Now, how much of the $39.99.5 are you going to go for?
We'll save a half a cent and bet $39.99.
Thank you.
Okay. What do you call a baby horse?
A colt.
Colt is right. You have $79.98.5.
Yes. See that?
Now, how much are you going to go for? This is the third question.
We'll save a half a cent again. $79.98, and that makes it, doesn't it?
Okay. What do you call a female sheep?
You.
Don't call it to me. Call it to you. That's right, to you. You knew that from the bunny backs of Scandal and all that.
You have $159.96.5.
Here's your last chance to be the other couples. How much will you bet?
Well, We'll still save a half a cent.
All right. What do you call a baby bear?
A cub.
A cub is right. What do you call a baby when he isn't bear? Cute.
And you wind up with $319.92.5. And that means that the Red Cross girl and the police officer, with $320 in just 1 minute, get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth deal.
Too bad.
Thank you.
Fenneman, let me tell you something about used cars. Do you know you've got to be mighty careful where you buy one?
That's right, Groucho.
My advice is go to the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. He has a wide selection of popular makes and models.
And when you buy from him, you know you're getting a really reliable car that'll give you plenty of good service.
That's true, George, and that's because a DeSoto Plymouth dealer has a reputation to uphold. A reputation for fair and square dealing.
So for a good used car at a fair price, easy terms, go to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
Remember, wherever you see those two great names linked together, DeSoto and Plymouth, you can always be sure of a fair and square deal. Here's the Red Cross girl and the police officer, Groucho, the winning couple, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question.
Well, how do you feel, Smart?
I don't know, scared.
Now, if you win this money, stop hiding behind billboards, will you?
Sure.
All right, for $1,000, I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. America's most famous ship, Old Ironsides, actually had copper sides, which were installed and designed by a great patriot. For $1,000, who was this famous craftsman? All right, kids, what's the answer you two have decided
I
upon?
think it was Paul Revere.
Paul Revere is right. That's right. You win $1,000. How much in the quiz, George?
$320 in the quiz.
$1,320. Well, congratulations from the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. You bet your life.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see DeSoto fire don't mate tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. The 3 R's of safe driving are ready, reasonable, and right. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is floor. F-L-O-O-R.
Rally.
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. The comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Oh, come now. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples.
We invited some dietitians to the program tonight, Groucho, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Jean Granger. Her partner is a volunteer from the audience, Mr. James Barrows. Folks, come on in and meet Groucho Marx. Over here, sir, please. Right in here. Right here.
Pleased to meet you.
Well, welcome.
Fine.
Welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. $1,000. $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. What were you planning to do? Go home already?
I tell you, it's very confusing, you know. I'm a gold bug. You know, I got the gold fever.
I don't care what you got, but don't sneak out of here before I get a crack at you. Huh? James Barrows, eh? What is your hometown, Mr. Barrows?
Boston, Massachusetts.
Well, it's a great town. Somebody out there from Holyoke. I've been in Boston many times. Which part of Boston are you from?
Roxbury, Massachusetts.
Roxbury, huh?
And 4 blocks from John L. Sullivan, the world's greatest fighter. My mother's name was Sullivan, and I'm proud of the Irish. And every second kid about John L. Sullivan didn't say a good word for John L. Sullivan. They had to answer to James A. Barrows. That's hard to believe. Who he was.
Mr. Barrows, of course you realize that John L. Sullivan's been dead about 40 years, huh?
Yes, sir. But I still...
Are you aware of that?
Yes, but I still got the Sullivan in me.
I see, huh?
And it was
Well,
the
get it
first
out
Irish
before
they
we
ever
get
had
through. Miss Granger, what sort of a dietitian are you?
I work for the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power.
Oh, you just feed water to people? Is that what you do?
Oh, no, we do much more than
Well,
that.
what does a dietitian
We're
do?
interested in people's eating habits.
Oh, I see. What would you say is the chief dietary problem that people are confronted with?
I think weight is.
What do you recommend for people who are overweight?
Well, of course, I recommend a good diet, and I certainly would like to warn people to keep away from fad diets.
Fat diets?
Fad diets. There are so many
I
fad
don't
diets.
hear very well. My glasses are not what they used to be. Well, what do you regard as a fad diet?
Oh, there are lots of them. They're very popular, in fact. Let's see, there's lamb chops and pineapple, or there's an orange diet, or a banana diet, or a peanut diet. There are all kinds of diets.
Peanuts?
Yeah.
You mean you can lose weight just by eating peanuts?
Well, some people think they can.
I don't believe it. Did you ever look at an elephant? Now, Mr. Barrows, what sort of work do you do?
I'm a gold sniper.
Is that anything like cigar? What's a gold sniper?
Well, a gold sniper is when you get the gold bug. You get the gold fever, see? Starts out for the gold fields and gets a couple of big nuggets, you know, and this is the year 1952, but I still think I'm a 49er. It's hard to believe.
You mean 1949 or 1849?
1849, because of what anybody says, I still believe that myself, because when I go out to look for these gold nuggets, I find them pretty big, and I really believe that's all I see is gold, gold, gold. Now, that's hard to believe, and the more I look at them, the bigger they get. And I tell everybody, don't get the gold fever. I give them advice. If they don't take it, what can I do about it? That's hard to believe.
Well, it's certainly hard to believe, all right. And there's really not much you can do about it.
No, but I give them advice not to get the gold fever. And some will take it serious. They want to take off. Professors and congressmen and judges, and I talk to all kinds of people, and they want to take off. I said, no, take it easy. Not that big, and calm them down, but they go and look for it. They can't blame me for the gold rush. I nearly started 5 gold rushes in California, and I don't want to start no more. It's hard to believe.
Where do you meet these congressmen?
Oh, sometime I'm hitchhiking with my gold pan across the Mojave Desert or something, and you see, I got money in my pocket, I start with the gold fields, but before I know it, I see Harold's Club, Reno, boom, I come up there, and, well, I make it pretty good, and sometime I come back, and then I start for Las Vegas, and I bump into Mojave Junction, Death Valley, Scotty's Place, right from Coyote Road, 36th, the Federal River, the Yuba River, the Snake River, Idaho, Calvert, Colorado County, nuggets, 75 pounds. See?
Well, come on, I'll go with you.
Wait a minute. Don't get upset. Wait a minute.
I got it as bad as you got it.
Wait a minute. See, I tell you.
I can't stand it any longer.
I know. It's hard to believe. I know.
Sitting here eking out these few bucks here when I could be hitchhiking with a pan of gold. I'm only human, too, you know.
Yes. Don't get the gold fever, believe
Well,
me.
I've got it.
I haven't got the intelligence, but the most intelligent people in the world, when I talk about the big nuggets, gee, I really got them. I says, well, I got a suitcase full of rocks I carried along when...
And you had this suitcase with you, huh?
Yeah, full of rocks, you know,
Yeah,
75-pound gold nuggets.
You got rocks in your suitcase. Maybe that explains everything.
So every place he comes in, on the Feather River, the Yuba River, Death Valley, Junction, Coyote Well, Furnace Creek, or Goldfield, Nevada, or Tonopah, Nevada, wherever it happened to be.
Well, Jim, this has been very innovating, the whole thing, and I must say it's been an interesting experience talking to you.
And I still got the gold fever. Don't think I ain't.
Let's go. Here we go again.
You want to see me yet on the highways and the byways with that gold fever?
I hope so, Jim, and I hope you're very successful and have a big strike someday, yeah? And I hope you win lots of money tonight, because in just 1 minute you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000 question. But first, I want you to pay attention to this.
Friends, when you drive, it's important that you have a clear view of the road ahead. This is especially true in wet, rainy, or stormy weather. That's why DeSoto is equipped with electric windshield wipers for your safety. You see, ordinary windshield wipers slow down or stop whenever extra acceleration is used. But electric windshield wipers maintain a constant, steady speed, regardless of engine load. This means that even in a situation that requires extra acceleration, your powerful DeSoto electric windshield wipers will maintain their same steady, reliable clearing action, never slow down or stop. In a DeSoto, you can pass a car on a straightaway or climb the steepest hill, assured that your electric windshield wipers will keep working to give you a clear view of the road ahead. DeSoto electric windshield wipers are just one of the many safety features you get when you buy DeSoto. Features like DeSoto safety rim wheels that materially reduce the danger of loss of control after a blowout, big DeSoto 12-inch brakes, and wonderful DeSoto full power steering that gives you safer, surer road control. Stop in at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow and see the car designed for your safety, DeSoto. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
All right, now that's nice and quiet. Let's see how you work together as a team. Fire Dome Fenneman?
Yes, sir.
Would you mind explaining the rules here?
You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question at the end of the show.
You ready?
Ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. From our list of 20 categories, you selected number 13, Hawaii, as your category. How much of the 20 are you going to bet? Talk right up, kid.
$15.
$15. The largest active volcano in the world is on the island of Hawaii. What is the name of it?
It's in Honolulu.
I think it's Mauna Loa.
Mauna Loa.
Yeah, Mauna Loa is right.
Right. Mauna Loa is right. Well, I ain't never been there.
Now remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $35 you're going to try this time?
25?
All right, 25.
All right. What do you call a feast done in the native style?
A luau.
A luau is correct.
Now you have $60.
Here's your third question. How much of the 60 will you risk?
I would bet 50.
Ooh, 45?
All right, 45.
All right. What do they call the garlands or necklaces of native flowers that are joined together?
Lays.
Lays is correct.
You now have $105.
And here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of this money will you try?
What do you think?
95?
95.
95. One of Hawaii's most beautiful beaches commands a good view of the famous Diamond Head. What is the name of this beach?
Waikiki.
Waikiki is correct.
And you wind up with $200.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Groucho, we invited some hotel men.
Well, now maybe I'll get a chance to talk. Huh?
Groucho, we invited some hotel men to the program
I didn't
tonight.
know there was any man could out-talk me. Huh?
We invited some hotel men to the program tonight.
I see.
And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. Herb Lopier. His partner is a young lady from the audience, Miss Olivia Eastus. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Olivia Eastus, huh? That's you, huh?
That's right.
And Mr. Lopier?
That's right.
Olivia, where are you from?
Abilene, Texas.
Abilene, Texas? I thought that was a cold cream, huh? I know Eastus is Eastus, but I didn't know Eastus was in Texas. Well, that takes care of that. Now, that's kind of a curious name. What kind of a name is Eastus?
It's a Welsh name.
Welsh?
Yes, it's
Do you sing the Welsh songs?
Yes, I can, but I want to tell you about the name.
Well, I wish you would.
Well, it's about...
As long as you don't discuss gold mining, I'll be very happy to listen to anything you have to say.
Well,
Talking to Mr. Eastus is like a week in the country.
It's about 1,100 years old.
Well, you don't look that old. And Mr. Lopez, you're the hotel man, huh?
That's right.
Where are you from?
I'm from the city of good neighbors, Buffalo, New York.
Are you married, Olivia?
No.
Not quite certain, are you? Have you ever come close to marriage?
Well, I was engaged once, but...
Just once?
Well, the last time.
I see.
But...
what happened?
Well, my fiancé kicked my Siamese cat, and I gave him back the ring. Now, that's the truth.
You gave the ring to the cat?
No, I gave the ring back to my fiancé because I didn't know but what he might start kicking me after we were married.
I've heard of Puss in Boots, but this is the first time I've ever heard of a boot and a puss. Now, let's talk about your hotel. Which one are you with?
I'm with the Statler.
Oh, that's a fine hotel. I've stayed there many times. How come I've never seen you there?
Well, what city were you in? We're in 8 cities, and...
Well, this one was in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Is that the one you're with?
Well, we don't have any hotel in Cheyenne.
I don't know who to believe, you or my crooked bath towels. You say you have no hotel in Cheyenne?
No.
Now, which one do you work for?
Well, I work for the new Statler in Los Angeles.
Oh, I stayed there last March. I must say your service was terrible and the rooms were drafty. Never felt such a breeze. Now, are you responsible for that?
Well, hardly. The hotel wasn't built then. Wasn't completed.
Wasn't finished, eh?
No.
Well, any hotel that'll take me in is finished. Well, tell us something about this hotel. I've been reading about it in the papers. How does it differ from any other hotel?
Well, the hotel is 13 stories high. It's 5 wings. In the hotel, there are 1,275 rooms, and they're all outside.
Well, when I want to sleep in the park, I don't have to register at your hotel.
And,
I'm not sure. I don't like the old-fashioned hotels better. That one in Cheyenne, Wyoming was a beautiful. Gold nuggets all over the lobby. Trouble is you had to stoop down to pick them up. What else is different about it?
Well, the keyhole is in the door.
Now you're talking, huh? What about
It's
the keyhole?
above the doorknob.
What's that?
It's above the doorknob.
The keyhole is above the doorknob?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's a convenience
You
to the
regard
guest.
that as
You
an
can see it.
advantage to have the keyhole above?
Oh, absolutely.
I used to bump my head on the doorknob, but this time I'll knock my teeth out. I'm off to Cheyenne on the warm morning, huh? Well, it's been restful talking to you two, and I wish you both lots of luck in the quiz. By the way, take a tip from me and drive the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. It's really a great car. Now, we're going to play You Bet Your Life for $1,000. All you got to do is beat our other couples, and you get a chance at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Fire Dome Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The gold prospector and his partner won $200. The secret word is floor.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected famous United States athletes. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
15.
Talk up, kids.
$15.
15. In what sport is Patty Berg famous?
Golf.
Galalov is right.
Well, you're off to a good start. You have $35.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $35 will you try now?
$34.99. We'll leave 1 penny.
Is that all right with you?
Make it 98.
98?
It's up to you. You go
Well,
ahead. 34.99 is all right.
99. We'll leave 1 penny.
$34.99. In what sport is Cecil Smith famous? C-E-C-I-L.
He's boating? Boating?
Pretty sure.
Come on.
Bowling.
No, I'm sorry. He's a very famous polo player. How much have they got?
1 cent.
See, you should have bet $34.98. All right, here's your third question. How much of the penny are you going to bet?
All of it.
All of it, eh? In what sport is Ralph Branca famous?
Baseball.
Baseball is right. Now you got 2 cents. See, I can figure this out, too. Now they have 2 cents. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 2 cents will you bet?
Shoot.
In what sport is Willie Hoppy famous?
He's a billiard champion.
Billiard champion is right.
Groucho, they wind up with 4 cents.
Nobody leaves here with 4 cents. I'll give you one more question. You get this out, and we'll bring your winnings up to $25. You ready? Who was buried in Grant's tomb?
General Grant.
General Grant is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers.
We have a couple of volunteers from our studio audience, Groucho. They were selected just before we went on the air, and here they are, Miss Carol Marie Lavique and Mr. Terrence Patrick O'Brien. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. Say the secret word and you'll win $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Miss Carol Lavique and Mr. Terrence Patrick O'Brien. Carol, what kind of a name is Lavique?
It's Levesque. It's a French
It's
name.
Levesque. What kind of a name is Levesque?
It's a French name.
What part of France are you from?
Oh, I was born in Hollywood Hospital.
Is that in Paris?
No, it's in Hollywood.
Just checking. How long ago did this happen?
19 years ago.
19 years ago. Well, you're a fine-looking girl there, Carol.
Thank you.
Mr. Terrence Patrick O'Brien, eh? What part of France are you from, monsieur?
No, I was born in Washington, D.C.
You come from an old Washington family?
My ancestors, they came from County Clare and County Cork, Ireland. So I guess that makes me an Irishman, I guess. But like Paddy's pig, I don't know.
Are you married, Terry?
I sure am, Groucho. I'm married.
Did you marry them? Did you marry a little Irish Colleen?
No, I'm sorry you asked me that. I was supposed to marry an Irish girl, but I wound up marrying a Scotch girl. I don't know how that happened. I changed the name, though. I call her Dugan now. Everybody calls her Dugan. Even her father calls her Dugan. So.
But she's still Scotch, huh?
Well, yes, she sure is.
Well, everybody gets tough breaks. There's nothing you can do about it. How did you meet this fabulous Mrs. O'Brien?
Well, I was a short order cook in the restaurant there, and she used to come in and eat.
Where was this?
In Washington, D.C.
Oh.
And she'd come in and eat, and generally she'd wind up eating about $8 worth of chow, and I'd charge her a nickel, and so she liked me.
How long did you work at this place?
A couple of weeks.
Well, that's easy to understand. How soon after you pauperized this proprietor did you ask her to marry you?
Well, as it turned out, we had a date there, the very first date, and we went up to Pat Corrigan's bar, a little place he used to go to, and drinking kissable colas, and she asked me to marry her.
What's a kissable cola? What's a kissable cola?
Well, I don't know, but you wind up getting married if you drink too many.
Well, thanks for the warning, Pat. Now, after you left your job as a cook, what sort of work did you engage in?
Well, I found out from my wife that her father was pretty well loaded. You know, he was...
Was he taking these kissable colas, too? Well, anyhow, there was your father loaded, and what happened?
Well, he was a pretty good old duck, or he seemed like it, and he had 7 trucks and a nice business.
Not so loud. This duck listens to every word you say.
And so I told him that perhaps he'd like to give his son-in-law, a job as a general manager or something like that. But he said his business was in too good shape to let me have any... He made me a truck driver. Yeah, I was a truck driver.
He made you a truck driver?
I was a truck driver.
And what'd you do with this truck driver?
Well, I did pretty well there for a while.
Oh, no, you were the truck driver, huh?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I thought you said he made you a truck driver. I wondered.
I worked for him for several weeks, and then I asked him about this general manager's job, and it wasn't coming, so I quit. No point in staying too long.
I think it's silly to stay in any job where you're not general manager. Well, what happened after that?
Well, I found out from my wife that her grandfather was pretty well loaded, too. No, he was the general superintendent of all the mines in Alabama. You know, there's an awful lot of mines in Alabama.
Yeah.
And I said that maybe he could use a general manager or vice president or something. He told me...
Why don't you throw your hat in the ring for president? Well, what happened then? What kind of work did he want you to do?
Well, I went to work there. I was shooting off the dynamite in the mine. And the job, I didn't like the job too much.
Why, were you connected with the dynamite?
No, I set off the explosive charges, and I didn't like it. It didn't look too good.
Oh, with that kind of a job, you can get to the top in a hurry.
I quit that.
Well, what finally happened?
Well, I quit, and I told my wife. My wife plays the piano, you know. She's very good.
In the mine?
No. And I told her that perhaps we could go to New Orleans or someplace, and we could play the piano together as a team, you know. It looked like a pretty good deal. So we went down to New Orleans with that in mind.
And?
Well, we...
What happened down there in the bayou?
Well, we didn't do too good down there at that. She was doing all right. I was having a little trouble myself. I wasn't doing so good.
Why was that?
Well, I didn't know how to play the piano. But, no, really. No.
You mean you had a job as a piano player and you couldn't play the piano?
Well, we never got the first
I told you
job.
to run for president, didn't I?
No, I intended to do the right thing. I was going to learn how to play, and...
Oh, sure, you could have picked it up overnight. It's nothing to it. Well, it's been enlightening talking to you two. I'd like to continue, but now it's time to play You Bet Your Life. Now, you run your $20 into more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The gold prospector and his partner lead with $200.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected barbershop ballads as your category. And after that piano playing you did in New Orleans, you ought to be pretty good at this. Here's your first question. How much will you go for?
We'll go for 15.
It's okay.
All right. What is the name of this old-time favorite? Play, Jerry.
No, Strawberry Blonde.
Strawberry Blonde is right.
You now have $35.
Jordan, you got $35, and how much you gonna bet this time, my lad?
Let's go for...
How much do we have?
You have $35.
35. $34.99.
Why don't you get a hold of yourself, girl? 30, how much is it? 34.98. We'll save 2 cents.
You're saving 2 cents.
Okay, here we go.
$34.98, right?
Give me the title of this song. Mr. Fielding.
Can't you hear me calling Carolina?
Can't you hear me calling Carolina?
You've now climbed to $69.98.
And here's your third question. How much are you going to bet?
$69.97.
Is that all right with you?
Is that okay?
Okay. Let's see if you can identify this one. Play, Jerry.
Moonlight Bay.
Moonlight Bay is right.
You've now climbed to $139.95.
It's a good thing this fellow didn't take piano lessons.
We'll go for all of it.
All of it, all right. It's your last chance to beat the other couples. You're going to go for all of it. What is the name of this song?
Meet me tonight in Dreamland.
Meet me tonight in Dreamland is right. Put it there. I'll give you a big kiss.
Okay.
Put it there. What about me?
And before you go away, you wound up with $279.90. Pretty good. Thank you.
Which means?
Oh, yes, the results.
Fenneman on the ball here, huh?
And that means...
Daydreaming.
Hey, kids, that means that you, too, get a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question in just 1 minute. Yes.
When you drive your car to a DeSoto Plymouth dealer for service, you can be sure of this. You'll get friendly service, courteous service, and you'll get the kind of service that will mean many extra miles of top performance from your car at a price that's fair. You see, the mechanics at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers are skilled men, master technicians, with years of on-the-job experience. What's more, these DeSoto Plymouth dealer mechanics get regular, periodic training in the latest factory methods, so they're always up on the latest and best methods of servicing your car. They have the most modern tools and equipment to work with, helping them to do a better job faster, which means a real saving to you. And if your car should ever need them, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer has ready access to the correct factory-designed and approved parts. So, for friendly, courteous, efficient service for your car, it will pay you to drive in at the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Well, here comes Mr. O'Brien and his partner, the winning couple, Groucho, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. Right back.
Well, here you are, my lad and lassie. Here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. One of Great Britain's most important institutions is known as the Old Lady of Threadneedle Street. It was founded in 1694. For $1,000, what is the Old Lady of Threadneedle Street? What's the answer you two have decided on?
Cabinet or Prime Minister or something?
No, I'm sorry. It's the Bank of England.
Oh.
Correct answer is the Bank of England, so that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win the quiz, George?
Well, they won $279.90 in the
Well,
quiz.
congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you, Mr.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the DeSoto Fire Dome 8 tomorrow.
The DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America salute the American Automobile Association on the occasion of its Golden Jubilee for 50 years of service to the motorist and the nation. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is tree. T-R-E-E.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
I accept the nomination. Oh, that's me! Well, here I am again with $1,500 for one of our couples. Don't even say the secret word. The duck will come down and pay him $100. The word tonight is tree.
We asked for people with interesting occupations to volunteer tonight, and just before we went on the air, these are the two that were selected. Laura B. Winner and William Thomas. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Miss Laura B. Winner, eh?
That's right.
Where are you from, Laura?
I was born in Tazewell County, state of Illinois, near Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, that's where those
but
breweries are.
I was born in Tazewell County.
You were born where?
In Tazewell County. I wasn't born in Peoria County.
Oh, well, is that on the outskirts of the brewery? Or?
Well, there was breweries in our locality.
Uh-huh. Could you give us, I don't like to ask this question, but could you give us an approximate, your approximate age, roughly, you know?
46.
Well, that's rough enough, all right. Mr. William Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Got your name backwards, haven't you? Shouldn't your name be Thomas Williams?
No, William Thomas.
Oh. Where are you from? Where are you from, Tom?
I was born in downtown Los Angeles.
You were born downtown?
No, I was born near downtown Los Angeles.
Did your mother get a ticket for parking overtime?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, she played it smart, eh? Parked in a delivery zone, eh? Laura, let's get back to you and that brewery. By the way, are you the one they wrote that song about?
Which song is that?
Well, I was thinking of Chloe, but I'll accept any song. Are you married, Laura?
No.
Well, that's a shame. An attractive, intelligent girl like you. Would you like to get married someday?
Not particularly.
Well, that's a very shifty answer, Laura. What do you mean, not particularly?
Well, I'm not looking for a husband.
No. Why wouldn't you like to get married?
Well, I've tried it 3 times.
Well, so what? The Republicans have tried it 4 times. And they're still punching. Now, Laura, Fennerman says you have an interesting occupation. What is it you do?
Well, I own the Winter PBX Switchboard School in the 6th and Hobart building here in Los Angeles, California.
PBX?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't quite understand. What are you talking about?
Well,
what
PBX,
is a PBX?
A PBX means Private Branch Exchange. That is the operator that handles the calls in the companies where they have a necessity for many phones, many calls coming in. And the PBX operator is the one that receives the calls first.
Do you think there's a good future in it for me?
Well, the PBX work as operators is very good for elderly gentlemen that are not they're not physically able to do manual labor any longer, but they have a great deal of gray matter and they're not ready for the shelf yet. So it really is a good occupation.
How would you like it if I came down to your place and pulled all the wires out of your PBX? Tom, that's you, Bill. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a postman.
Oh, really? Well, it's nice to have you here. A little later, we can all play post office, huh? You're a postman, eh?
Yes.
Postman. I can't think of any postman jokes. Oh, yes. Did you hear about the woman who sued the doctor for operating on her husband?
Was that the one that opened her mail? Yes, I heard that one.
You're quite a card yourself, aren't you? Now, you stay right here and see if you can't win some money. It's been very, very educational talking to you two. I don't know if your name is Tom or Willie now. Which is it?
Bill.
Bill, that's good. And I hope you win lots of our money here tonight. See, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,500 question. Right now, I want you to pay attention to something of great importance.
Friends, the car you should own is a DeSoto. DeSoto, designed and built to give you extra comfort, extra safety, and extra performance. Consider these famous DeSoto features. For extra performance, there's the mighty 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine. The sensational new engine that gives you all the power you can use while burning regular fuel, not costly premium fuel. You get extra performance, too, from DeSoto Full Power Steering. Full Power Steering which lets you turn the wheels with just one finger, even when your car is standing still. DeSoto Full Power Steering works for you all the time, not some of the time. In your DeSoto, you also get the extra comfort of Oriflow shock absorbers, which turn even the roughest roads into boulevards. Of course, you also get famous DeSoto chair-high seats. Talk about extra safety. Huge DeSoto 12-inch brakes give you a safe, sure stop every time. No car in America has bigger brakes. And thanks to DeSoto Power Braking System, these huge brakes are completely effective with just half the pedal pressure. There are DeSoto safety rim wheels, the wheels which materially reduce the danger of loss of control after blowout. Truly, DeSoto is the finest car value on the road. Tomorrow, go to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers and take the 5-mile trial in either the mighty DeSoto Fire Dome V8 or the brilliant Powermaster 6. Convince yourself your next car should be a DeSoto. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected meanings of words. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
Oh,
$15. No, $15. Come on.
$15.
15.
All right. If you were loquacious, what would you be?
Talkative.
Talkative is right.
And you're off to a good start. You have $35.
Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of the $35 are you going to try this time?
20, 30.
Talk up.
$34.01.
$34.03. 2 cents.
All right. We'll settle halfway
$24.02.
between. $34.02.
All right. If you were emaciated, what would you be?
Thin.
That's
Skeleton
right.
like.
Thin is right. Don't go any further.
You now have $69.02.
Here you go. Here's your third question. How much are you going to go for? Talk up, kids.
$69.01 then.
Okay.
How much? $69.01.
$69.01.
If you were irate, what would you be?
Angry.
Angry man.
Angry is right.
You've now climbed to $138.03.
How much you going to bet? Fast now. Come on.
All of it.
All of it. Here's your lay. All right. You're going to bet all of it. If you were obese, what would you be?
Fat.
Fat is right. Good boy, Laura. Kiss. Don't
Oh,
stand
no.
there. No? You wouldn't kiss each other?
Well,
With all that money?
yeah.
And you wind up with $276.06.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a man in uniform to be on the show. His name is Private Herb Wiedemann. His partner, also chosen by our audience, is Mrs. Babette Pearson. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, youngsters, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word. It's something you see every day. Babette Pearson, huh? And Herb Wiedemann.
That's right.
Man in uniform, huh?
That's
You
right.
must be another political candidate, are you?
No, I'm
What are you running for, son?
Nothing.
I see. You didn't accept the nomination willingly, eh? You just preferred to get drafted?
That's what I did.
Where are you from, General?
Boulder, Colorado. I was born in Glendale, California.
Oh. Mrs. Pearson.
Yes.
Where are you from?
I was born in Oskaloosa, Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
What's your excuse for being here? Are you a candidate?
No, I'm a welcome wagon hostess.
A what?
Welcome wagon.
Welcome wagon? Is that so? I noticed when you walked in here, you were wagon, but I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it meant welcome. Huh? How come you're on the wagon? Did you take the pledge, Babette? And if so, where did you put it? What is a welcome wagon?
Well, I call on people to make them more better acquainted, people when they move new into the community, and tell them about the churches and schools and some of the friendly merchants.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's be specific. Now, suppose I moved into your community. What is the procedure? What's the first thing you do?
Well, after you have moved, then I would call on you with my little basket.
Oh, Red Riding Hood. What do you mean with your basket? Are you an undertaker? What have you got in your little basket besides a Tommy gun?
Oh, some civic material and some gifts, free wash job, bouquet of flowers, a yardstick.
Pretty handy stuff, huh? How does all this strike you, this kind of stuff?
Strikes me just fine, sir.
What does?
This welcome wagon.
Would you be interested in a free car wash and some flowers?
Well, I think the Army provides us with everything we need, sir.
I guess that's true, but once in a while, don't you soldiers yearn for something soft around your neck? Like a car wash and a permanent wave? They use soft soap, you know. What happens when you first get in the Army? Do they meet you with a welcome wagon and a basket of goodies?
No, sir, but we did get a orientation speech from the commanding general who told us what the Army expected of us.
And did you tell the general what you expected of him? What did they expect from you?
Well, they expected us to do our best and learn as much as possible. So if and when we get in combat, we'll be able to do our job well.
Well, I hope you stood right up and told them what you expected of the Army, didn't you? That's right, you know, you can do that now. This is the new Army. You can tell a general off any time you feel like it. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Well, you try it sometime. They don't even get mad. Nothing happens except you get shot the following morning. But it's still very friendly. They use soft-nosed bullets. And you hardly feel it. Well, you make a very charming couple, and my advice to both of you is to take a ride in the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. And you'll live happily ever afterwards. All right, now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The postman and his partner won $276.06, and the secret word is tree.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected male and female of the species. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? This is Mr. Fenneman.
How do you do?
This is Bobette. She has a welcome wagon.
$15.
You're going to bet $15?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Are you ready, soldier?
Ready, sir.
Do you acquiesce? Are you in full accord with this
Positively.
decision? All right. Now, what do you call a male duck?
Gander.
You have to decide on one answer between you now.
Oh.
Duck's a duck, isn't it? Duck?
I'm sorry. It was named after a hotel in Chicago, the Drake.
You dropped down to $5.
Well, that's a shame. That's too bad. Well, remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight, and that's the big money. Now, how much of the $5 are you going to try this time?
$2.
$2. All right. What do you call a male sheep? Talk it over.
Yeah.
A ram?
A ram is right.
Well, you're on your way again. You have $7.
Here's your third question. How much are you going to bet?
$3.
Okay.
$3. Oh, this is duck soup. Now, what do you call a male goose?
Gander.
A gander. That's right. It was named after a hotel in Chicago. A gander.
You now have $10.
Now you have $10, and it's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much are you going to bet? Talk it out.
$10.
$10 you're going to bet. What do you call a female rabbit?
Doe.
That's right. It was named after the Treasury in Washington. Now, Doe is right.
And you wind up with $20, but I don't think that's enough. Is it, Groucho?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think we ought to give him a chance to win some real money here. I'm going to give you one more question. You get this right, and it'll bring your winnings up to $25. No coaching, please. Who is buried in Grant's tomb? General Grant is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Groucho.
Yes?
Before we go on here tonight,
Yes. Well, you are on here tonight, aren't you?
I mean, before we go on with the show.
Oh, before you proceed with the show is what you mean, huh?
Yes, before we proceed with the show, I'd like to mention...
Let's be specific about this.
I'll try to be. Yes. I wanted to mention that I bought one of your record albums.
You did? Well, I appreciate it.
And it's very charming, really.
Well, I'm astonished that you're so surprised, George. Huh?
Yes, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised, should I? I was sort of hoping maybe you'd tell the people here about you.
Very nice of you, George. That's the Decker album that I made with Victor Young's orchestra. We did 6 songs by Calman Ruby, and songs like Captain Spaulding and Omaha, Nebraska, and Dr. Hackenbush, and they're on sale at all the record stores, and I understand they're going very well, and I hope you'll all drop in and buy one of these recordings before they're all gone, because they're going like hotcakes. And some of the songs sound like hotcakes, but I trust you'll all go out and purchase one of these records. Otherwise, I will be a public judge. Now, who is next on the agenda? That's what they always say at the American Legion, the Shrine, places like that.
Well, we have some...
What do you know what that means, agenda? I don't know what it means, and I don't want to embarrass you.
List, I think.
Is that what it means?
I'm not sure.
I mean, a boat can have a list without having an agenda, can it?
We invited
Well, look it up after the show, will you?
We have some newlyweds for you, Groucho.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take half of them. I'll take the distaff side.
They were selected by our studio audience just before we went on the air, and I'd like to have you meet them now.
Well, how nice.
Mr. and Mrs. Robert Donnelly, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, look at this. Newlyweds, eh? Well, welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And for me, too. Say the secret word and take home $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Bob, where are you from?
Patterson, New Jersey.
Well, how old are you?
30.
30?
Mm-hmm.
And Mrs. Donnelly, I presume that's you.
That's right.
What is your front name?
Ia.
Beg your pardon, what was that again?
Ia.
I thought that's what you said. My ears aren't what they used to be. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Is that named after you,
I don't think so.
Mrs. Donnelly? How do you spell your name?
E-A.
Oh. You write a letter, you certainly can get through fast, can't you? How old are you?
25.
Where are you from, Ia?
I was from Kansas City originally, but I came out here several years ago.
Uh-huh.
I live in California now.
Well, that's life. Here today and gone tomorrow. What made you decide to come to Los Angeles? Was it Ia?
No, I was out here for a while during the war, Groucho, and decided to come out again.
Oh, you were in the service then?
Yeah.
How did you happen to meet Ia?
Well, I was driving along one of the Los Angeles streets, and she was standing on a corner waiting for the traffic light to change in a halter and shorts. And I was watching her.
She sounds like a horse.
I was watching her instead of watching where I was driving, and I smashed into the car in front of me. So a lot of people came around, and I asked her for her phone number, and just in case I needed a witness.
What kind of an impression did Hot Rod Charlie make on you at this first meeting? I know what kind of an impression he made on the car in front of him.
Well, I was very impressed
Well,
with him, yes.
Was it a whirlwind courtship? Did you get married on the corner there?
No.
Well, tell us about it. Was it exciting?
Well, it was pretty exciting.
What took place?
While I was courting her, she had her appendix out. And,
was this on the corner?
No.
Well, what happened?
Well, we both like movies. We went to a lot of movies together, about 12 a week.
Uh-huh.
And her cat gave birth to 7 kittens in an old tree in the backyard.
Wait! You said cat, and that's the secret word. We've changed it from tree to cat now, and you split $100 between you. You get 50, and he gets 50. Yeah, how about the proposal? Was it romantic?
Oh, yes, it was very romantic. It was after dinner, and we were playing beautiful classical music on the record player.
You were pretty shrewd, huh? You really set the scene. Bob, did you get down on one knee when you proposed?
No, I was washing dishes.
Before you were married?
Yeah.
Brother, were you hooked? Well, that scene must have been very romantic. 2 young lovers in front of the sink holding dishpan hands. In a frenzy of passion, Bob squeezes the dish rag and she says yes. And he says, will you be my little Brillo forever and ever? Well, you make a very engaging couple, even if you are married. Now, Bob, do you have any pet names for her?
Oh, yeah, I call her, I call her Squash.
Isn't that romantic? Why do you call her Squash?
Well, every time I lie on the sofa in the front room, she sits on my stomach.
Well, that's logical. I suppose if she sat on your head, you'd call her Cabbage. What kind of work do you do, Bob?
Well, I'm an apprentice glassblower.
Mm-hmm. Now, what does an apprentice glass blower blow? Do you just hang around doing nothing until 5 o'clock and then blow?
No, we make all kind of glass products, neon lighting and medical tubing, vials, goblets, glasses,
You
bottles.
manufacture goblets?
Yeah.
I always thought a goblet was a small sailor filled with wine. Did you like that one, mate?
That was pretty good, but I've heard better.
Well, let's hear the one that cracks them up down at the glassworks. Let's hear it.
There's the standard one about the glass blower that comes to work with the hiccups, and he blew 115 percolator tops before they could stop him.
Well, let's go back to where your wife was sitting on your stomach. Well, you're a very nice young couple, and I hope you win lots of money here tonight. Now, what would you do if you won $1,500?
Oh, I think I'd put it in an account for Deborah.
Deborah? Well, that's very nice. Who's she? Some dish down at the glass factory?
No, Deborah is the name we've decided to give to our first child.
Well, that's a very pretty name, but won't he feel sort of embarrassed on his 19th birthday if he gets a shaving mug with Debbie on it? All right, now it's time to play You Bet Your Life. Run your $20 into more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,500 question. Can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The postman and his partner still lead with $276.06.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected stars of foreign movies. That's a pretty tough one. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? And one answer between you on the answers.
15.
15. Who starred as Hamlet in the Academy Award movie?
Laurence Olivier.
Right. Laurence Olivier.
Off to a good start. You have $35.
I forgot. They saw 12 movies in a week. Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. How much of your $35 you're going to try this time?
$34.99.
All right. Who was the ballet dancer who starred in Red Shoes and Tales of Hoffman?
Moira Shearer.
Moira Shearer is right.
Really climbing, you have $69.99.
Here's your third question. How much will you bet?
$69.98.
Who played the title role in The Private Life of Henry VIII?
Charles Lawton.
Right.
You now have $139.97.
And here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of this vast sum are you going to bet this time?
Bet it all.
Shoot the works. Who played the lead in Elephant Boy?
Sabu.
Sabu is right. Now, kiss him like you did when you had the halter on.
Now, here's the news. You wind up with $279.94. And that means that you, our young married couple, get the chance in just 1 minute at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question.
Friends, I'd like to remind you about getting your car ready for colder weather.
Be sure to tell them, George, there's a lot more to it than just getting antifreeze and having your oil changed.
Well, that's right. If you expect your car to start on the coldest winter mornings, to shift smoothly, to operate efficiently, then the place for you to take it right away is to a DeSoto Plymouth dealers. First, for easier shifting on even the coldest days, your transmission will get the proper lubricants. For quicker winter starting, your battery will be checked. To handle the increased electrical load of winter driving, the DeSoto Plymouth dealer mechanics will step up the generator and check your spark plugs. The brakes of your car are especially vital in bad weather, so they'll be carefully serviced for safer winter stopping. The master technicians at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers will tune the engine of your car, too, to make sure it will give you economical operation mile after mile. And, of course, you'll get the proper oil, your radiator will be cleaned and flushed, you'll get a good antifreeze, all the things your car needs to give you worry-free operation even in the coldest weather. And believe me, you'll be amazed how little you pay for all this expert service for your car. So drive in for that cold weather checkup tomorrow, wherever you see the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Well, here's our young married couple, Groucho, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question.
All right, now, nice and quiet. Here we go for $1,500. Give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. So think carefully, and please, no help from the audience. Here it is. I'm sure everyone is familiar with a perennially popular poem which begins with the line, "'Twas the night before Christmas." For $1,500, tell me the name of this children's classic. You got 15 seconds. All right, what's the answer you two have decided upon?
A Visit from St. Nick?
You're absolutely right. You notice how her attitude has changed since they won the big money. Well, that's right. You win $1,500. You wouldn't kiss him that much on the $169. And you won $100 in the for the secret word?
Yeah, and $279.
Figure the whole thing up, Fenneman, and shove it under my door. How much? Come on, how fast?
I got it right here. $1,879.94.
Start working on
all right, now what are you going to do with all that swag?
Well, I think we'll put it in a savings account, Groucho.
Well, that's a very
for the future.
way, yes. Well, congratulations. From the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast, you bet your life.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see DeSoto Fire Dough make tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Slow down at sundown. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is chair, C-H-A-I-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
What a bore. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,000 tonight for one of our couples.
We have a couple of young single people for you tonight.
This is Fire Dome Fenneman, in case you forget.
These young single people were chosen from our studio audience just before we went on the air. Miss Louise Callahan and Mr. Harold Goodman, come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Louise Callahan and Harold Goodman. Louise, say this. There's quite a lot of you, isn't there? How much of you is there, Louise?
165 pounds. 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall, and you weigh 165, huh? Where are you from?
I'm from Shamokin, Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, I'm smoking now. Where are you from, Harold?
Indiana Harbor, Indiana.
How old are you, Harold?
27.
27,
Yes.
Well, you're a fine-looking lad.
Thank you.
What sort of work do you do, my lad?
I'm a physician.
Oh, a doctor, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any difference between a doctor and a physician? Except the fee, I mean.
Well, many professions apply the name doctor to their title, but a physician is...
That's a euphemism, isn't it?
A euphemism is
yes,
fine.
Yes,
I
well,
think.
euphemism and me for using it. You know, I'm curious. What made you decide to become a doctor in the first place?
Well, that's a question that I've been asked many times, and it's a very difficult one to answer.
Was this after you operated they asked you that? Well, how do you answer that query?
The answer of necessity has to be very nebulous and vague, and I just can't give you a specific...
Well, we don't object to a nebulous answer.
You don't?
Oh, no.
Well, it offers a great...
You'd be surprised
deal.
how nebulous we can get on this show.
I've seen you before, and I'm sure that...
Me and my shadow.
Me and my shadow is right.
You're off to a good start. You have $39.50.
Song has been made famous by the old master Ted Lewis.
$39.
$39 you're going to bet? Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, you're going to bet $39. Rudy Valley had a hand in writing this song. Give me the title.
Good night, sweetheart.
Good night, sweetheart is right.
You now have $78.50.
How much you going to bet?
78.
Here's the third question. $78. Bing Crosby was one of the writers of this song. What's the name of it? Play it, Jerry. Ghost of a Chance with You is right.
You now climb to $156.50.
Now, how much of this are you going to bet this time? $156.50.
All of it.
You're going to shoot the works? Here we go. It's your last chance to beat the other couples. In 1924, Al Jolson helped write this song. Let's see if you can identify it. California, here I come.
And you'll wind up with $313.
There, Louise, you're a fine couple. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Groucho, we invited some Red Cross workers to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Marjorie Stevens. Her partner is a husband who volunteered, Mr. George Heckenkamp. Folks, come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the sacred word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Marjorie Stevens, eh?
Yes.
And Mr. George Heckenkamp.
Right.
Say, that's a cute uniform, Margie, and you're a cute girl. Are you a CB?
No. This is a Red Cross uniform.
Oh, well, you don't look very cross. Do you do anything else aside from Red Cross work?
Yes, I help an orthodontist.
Oh. Well, he goes to his church, and everybody goes to theirs. George Heckenkamp, huh?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Quincy, Illinois.
Oh, I had the Quincy for a while. I played in Quincy. That was long before you were born, though, I think. Are you married, George?
Yes, I am, sir.
Mm-hmm. How'd you meet your wife?
Well, she was dancing with a fellow I did.
Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000 question. But first, I want everybody to listen to this.
Friends, what do you want in a car?
An engine might be nice.
If you're looking for the highest standards of safety and performance, you should own a DeSoto.
How about if you're looking for little things, like wheels?
Well, Groucho, no matter what you're looking for, you'll do better with a DeSoto. You mentioned engines. DeSoto, you know, has the sensational 160-horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine. The engine specifically designed to give you top performance under all conditions. The DeSoto Fire Dome gives you surging power plus real economy because the Fire Dome was built to run at peak efficiency on ordinary fuels, not expensive premium fuels. The mighty DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine means you'll always have power when you want it, power when you need it. And as for wheels, DeSoto offers you wonderful safety rim wheels, an extra safety factor. DeSoto's safety rim wheels have special protective ridges designed to hold the tire securely on the rim in case of a blowout. This helps you control the car and bring it to a safe stop. So you see, friends, for outstanding performance and wonderful safety, your next car should be a DeSoto. Tomorrow, drop in at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Take the 5-mile trial in the mighty DeSoto Fire Dome 8 or the famous DeSoto Powermaster 6. Prove to yourself that your next car should be a DeSoto. And don't forget, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. Fireman, Fire Dome Fenneman.
Yes, sir.
Would you mind explaining the rules to these young culprits, young couple?
Well, you bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later on in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. From our list of 20 categories, you selected songs written by famous personalities as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you try?
1950.
1950. Billy Rose and several others combined their talents to write this song. Give me the title of it. Okay, Jerry.
The field, of course.
How would you like it if I practiced medicine, huh?
I'm sorry.
I'm allegedly the comic on this show.
Medicine offers a great deal of variety and interest.
Well,
value.
show business offers a lot of variety, too.
I would like very
it's on
much
sale
to be in
every
show
week,
business.
huh?
I would like to be in
Well,
show business.
the way you're going now, it won't be a matter of a few You may be sitting here, and I may be rolling bandages. Wanting something better. Go on, now, what were you saying?
I think I'd finished.
Oh, you finished? Well, how'd you make out?
There you are.
Well, that was quite interesting, and I've learned a lot from that, Doc. Now, you say that this was a kind of a nebulous answer you could only give, a vague answer. I hate to bring up an unpleasant subject like this, but weren't you at all interested in the financial returns of being a doctor?
It's a long time before that comes around. You spend 4 years in college. That takes a great deal of money. 4 years in medical school also costs a good deal. This is followed by a year of internship at the rate of about 10 cents an hour. If you want to specialize, a residency for 3 or 4 years at 15 cents an hour. Then out in practice, it'll take a little while to get established.
15 cents an hour?
It's quite good these days.
Well, it costs you 60 cents to shoot pool for an hour. Why couldn't you skip all those preliminaries and just hang up a shingle when you get out of high school?
Well, that would be unethical, and besides, you'd get caught.
Well, suppose they nailed you a few times. You'd save 12 years anyway. Now, Louise, what sort of work have you been doing?
I used to be the human fish at the Mommy Biltmore in Florida.
You were a human fish?
Yes.
Did you have a worm in your mouth?
No, I'll tell you about it, Groucho.
Well, I wish you would.
What they did was put a harness on me, and there was a man with a pole and a line, and I would go out in the water and swim real hard and try to fight it, and people on the sides would make bets and to see if I would stay out in the water or whether he pulled me in or not.
Well, after they caught you, did they hang you over the mantle? Or... Imagine coming home and explaining this to your wife, say, I just caught this fish. Well, you make a splendid couple, and now the rest is up to you. I've done all I can.
Been like one time, and I cut in on him, and been dancing with her ever since.
You dance 24 hours a day? Was your wife pleased at this turn of events?
Well, I'm married to her. She
Answer my question, George. None of this nebula stuff. We've had enough nebulae tonight. What did you do in Quincy?
Well, I didn't do too much in Quincy. I moved to Pittsfield, Illinois.
What did you do in Pittsfield? Moved to Peoria?
No, I had a flower shop there, a florist shop.
Oh, I see. And everything went to pot? How'd you make out there?
Well, I lost money.
Oh. That was pretty prophetic, wasn't it? What did you do when you came to California?
Well, I opened 2 flower shops out here.
Well, that was pretty smart, George. You got wiped out in 1 flower shop, you thought you'd do it with 2 shops. You figured you could go under much faster that way, is that it? You're a pretty shrewd cookie, George. How'd you make out the second time?
I lost twice as much.
George, I hate to say this, but in the flower business, I'd say you're a blooming idiot. Now, if you're crazy about losing money, I happen to know a little oil deal up in Wyoming. Now, this is a very attractive deal. You could get wiped out overnight. What did you do to make money, George?
Well, I work for an airline at night, and I work for a bank during the day.
Well, that wasn't very bright, George. If you really wanted to make money, you should have worked at the airline during the day and the bank at night. Are you sure you got the right girl, George?
I think so.
What are you doing now, George?
Well, I'm a motorcycle officer for the State Highway Patrol.
George, I think you're one of the finest men I've ever met. And if there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to call on me. What do you do for the Red Cross, Marjorie?
I'm a driver.